What's up guys? It's finally here. I'm finally making a video about Amazon ads. Over the course of the past few months, I've gotten a lot of comments and suggestions of people wanting me to make a video about Amazon ads. If you saw my 2022 earnings report, I'll put a link to it here. I talked about how much I spent in the year 2022 on Amazon ads, and it was about $20,000. So I'm finally making a video where I can dive deeper into my ad spending, my ad strategy, so that hopefully it can help you. Because the Amazon ads that are available to Merch by Amazon sellers are a really powerful way to get visibility on your listings. It's a great way to promote listings, and it's a great way to accelerate your listings that are already doing really well. So here's what I'm going to do in this video. We're going to jump on my computer here and we're going to look at my December 2022 Amazon ad spend and Amazon sales. All right, December being the peak month for print-on-demand sellers. It's our best month. It's when you get the most sales. I mean, everybody's shopping. It's going to be a lot, right? We're going to look at December, and then we're going to compare that to January 2023, which is typically the lowest month. Most people aren't spending after the holidays. You know, the holiday rush is over. Christmas is past. So we're gonna look at 2 months here, and I think this compare and contrast look into my Amazon ad spending will give you a little bit of insight into my Amazon ad strategy. A couple quick things before we jump into the actual on-screen content. First of all, this video is gonna be a little bit longer than normal because Amazon ads are a pretty complex topic. I mean, it's just so much to cover. It's easy to kind of get lost in the weeds. It's easy to get overwhelmed. So sit back and just watch the video, get a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and try and watch the thing from beginning to end, because first I'm going to cover my December earnings, and then I'm going to go into January, and then I'm going to go into some specific ad strategy and some specific things that I do. We'll take a closer look at some of my campaigns, and I'll give you guys some tips in this video. And lastly, think of any questions that you have about Amazon ads. I understand that it's really hard to make a comprehensive video on Amazon ads where I cover everything A through Z. So if you have any questions, drop them below in the comments and let me know, because I plan on doing some follow-up videos on this. But for now, let's get into it. We're gonna jump on the computer and take a look, starting out with my December 2022 Amazon ad spending and my Amazon ad campaigns. Okay guys, here we are in my advertising console for December 2022. We're gonna take a really close look here at what I spent, how many clicks I got, how many sales. So you can see here, I've got it selected for December 1st through December 31st, 2022. And I've got my campaigns blurred out here on the side because those are gonna reveal my niches. I have to keep that blurred. So really the purpose of this is just so you guys can see kind of like, you know, what kind of ad performance I was getting, what kind of campaigns, how many, how much I'm spending. So let's just jump through a couple things. For the month of December, I spent a total of $3,534.73. I generated a total of $22,661.69 in sales. That is sales, total sales dollars. That's not royalties. That's the total amount of value of all the shirts at $19.99, all the hoodies at $34.99, all the phone cases at $18.99. That's what that total sales figure is. ROAS, we're gonna skip that. I don't really use that metric too much. Impressions, so impressions is the total amount of times my ads were seen or shown and was seen by a visitor. So I had 3.5 million impressions total, and I had an ACOS of 15.6%. Now this is really important. One of the most important metrics that sellers use to look at the performance of their ads is ACOS. It stands for Advertising Cost of Sales. And it's basically the amount that you spend on ads divided by the amount you've earned on ads. So a quick example, let's say I sell a shirt for $20 and I get $5 royalty if it sells. And I run an ad for it and I spend $5 in clicks on that ad. So I've spent $5 on a $20 product. That means my ACOS, my advertising cost of sales, what it cost me to get that $20 was $5. And as a percentage, 5 into 20 is 25%. So for that particular transaction or that particular campaign, my ACOS is 25%. Now, you have to go in and look at your ACOS break-even point. For most sellers that are selling standard t-shirts as the majority of their portfolio, and you're around a full price shirt, $19.99 to $20.99, something like that, you're gonna be looking at an ACOS between 20 and 25%. For something like hoodies, where you have a higher royalty, you may have an even higher ACOS. And something with a lower royalty, you may have a lower ACOS. I know that my ACOS, for me personally, and my pricing strategy and royalties is around 20 to 25% ACOS. That's my target range that I try and keep all of my campaigns below. Sometimes I exceed that, but generally speaking, I want to keep those campaigns below that. So if I look at this and I see for the month of December, I'm at 15.6% total ACOS for the whole month. I know for sure I was profitable that month. In fact, I was profitable by a pretty good margin, by anywhere between 5 and 10%. And that's not even necessarily always my goal, but this is a really good metric to determine the performance of my ads. So how many clicks and sales did I get out of that? So I spent $3,534 and we got a total of 10,291 clicks, from 3.5 million impressions to 10,000 clicks. And then of those clicks, that resulted in a total of 1,054 orders. So we can kind of go through here and look at some of these. I'm going to sort this column by ACOS, right? So we're going to start with the highest. We can look at this campaign here. I can see this was an automatic campaign. I spent $14 on it and I only got one sale. Very high ACOS, 70.9%. Terrible. That's why it was cut off. And that's an example of one that got away from me. This is probably one that spent that money in a couple days really quick, and I realized, wow, it's already gotten 30 clicks and only one sale. To me, that's not performing well. I'm gonna kill it. So next we jump down. We've got this one here. This is another campaign. Now this is a manual targeting campaign that I did, where I got 280 clicks for 16 orders for a 36.7% ACOS. This was another one. This is a holiday design, as you can imagine. I was trying to really push this design around Christmas, and it got a 36.7% ACOS. That's really not great. I probably killed this campaign. I obviously pushed it a little bit here because I spent $116 on it and only got 16 sales. I definitely lost some money specifically on that individual manual campaign. Now when we start getting into these other ones, then you can see now we're getting into some really good performing campaigns, because every single one from here down, 22%, 20%, 18%, 16%, 13%, you know, all the way down to, I had some of these campaigns performing at a 7% ACOS, which is really good, depending on what your goals are. So, you know, I think the main thing here to kind of look at is the performance of some of these campaigns. We're just gonna go and look through some of these that have a lot of sales. Okay, look at this one. This is a specific group of shirts that I created, okay? So I think there was about 5 designs, and I put all 5 of these designs under the same campaign because they had very similar keywords and were targeting the same exact niche. And I ran an automatic campaign, and I spent a total of $680 on this campaign for the month of December, but I got 178 orders and made over $3,600 in sales for an 18% ACOS. That's really, really good. These were full price shirts at $19.99, so I know that this campaign was very profitable. Now, it's currently off. You'll see that it's paused, right? And that's because this campaign is a holiday campaign. That was something I specifically was pushing around the Christmas holiday. It's not gonna work right now, not at the same. I may turn it on later as we get closer to the holidays, but right now it's dead because it served its purpose for the month of December. So we can see here a couple other ones. Let's look at this one. This is another really, really good performing campaign. This is a manual campaign. So actually what this is if you go back to that other campaign that I just talked about, this one here, I had one t-shirt of that group of similar items that was performing really, really well. And I had a lot of data that I could go back and look at with the search terms to see what people are searching for. And I took that one well-performing campaign and I started a manual campaign. That's what this is, manual targeting. So I'm running the same product. I have it once in an auto campaign, okay, with those other shirts. And now I have it here in a manual campaign. And I spent $239.44 on ads just on this one shirt in December. But I was able to generate an additional 128 orders for a 9.21% ACOS. That's really, really good, especially for a manual campaign. In my opinion, I think that's really good. So that's an example of where I've taken an auto campaign and one ASIN that was performing well and then brought it down to a manual campaign. A lot of these other ones you can see I'm still running. If it says delivering, that means I'm still running it now, right? So these are campaigns that are more year-round. A lot of the ones that are paused or off are gonna be campaigns that were specific for the Christmas holiday in the month of December, something I was trying to promote, or they just didn't perform well and I just shut them off because they didn't perform well. Like these top couple ones here. I mean, they're just 70% and 36% ACOS, not very good. Okay, so as you can see, I spent a lot of money on ads in the month of December for 2022. I have a couple figures here, and I'm gonna try and put some of these up on the screen, but there's a couple things that I wanna share with you guys about context in terms of running ads and sort of my thought process behind it. So to put that in perspective, here's a couple figures. So I did a total of 1,054 total orders in the month of December, specifically attributed from ads. Those are orders that were placed as a direct result of someone clicking on an ad. And I did a total of 3,015 orders for the month of December. So as a percentage, that means 34.9% of all of my sales for the month of December were directly attributed to ads. That's really powerful. I mean, that's over 1/3 of the total business I did in the busiest month of the year. A couple other things that I want to touch on that are related to that. So why do I spend so much on ads, especially in the busy Q4 months? Well, here's my thought process behind it. I know that more people are shopping on Amazon during the months of November and December than any other time of the year. And I know that there's going to be people searching for products during that shopping season that may not be searched for as much in other times of the year. So if I have an opportunity to run an ad to a product and get it seen and get a click and a sale, that's going to increase the chances of me getting sales outside of Q4 and other times of the year, in February or July, for that specific product, because the algorithm is going to say, hey, this already has a sale. Maybe it already has a review, and it's going to be shown in their search results above a product that doesn't have a review. It's almost like I pour gasoline on the fire during the months of November and December with heavy ad spend, because I want to get as many of my products seen, and as big a portion of those as possible. I want them to get clicks and sales. So that's where the debate or the philosophy with ads comes into question, because is running ads supposed to be profitable? Is it supposed to be break even? Or are you supposed to run ads at a loss? And I think there is no right or wrong answer. It sort of depends on your personal philosophy, your strategy, and your business model. There are big Fortune 500 companies that run ads at a loss. I mean, it's just part of their business model. They lose money on advertising, but they make up for it in other places. For me personally, I don't necessarily try and profit off of my ads. I have this desired ACOS, that advertising cost of sales, that I talked about, that's between 20 and 25%, and I try and keep my ads below that. And I use that metric, okay, to go in and optimize my listings and sort by the ACOS percentage, make some adjustments, or potentially turn them off. Now, I have other campaigns that I let exceed that because I'm specifically trying to boost that product to get it onto page 1 or to boost it around a specific holiday. So I may take a loss on a particular campaign for a couple weeks or even a couple months, because I know, say during 4th of July, it's going to pay off and I'll make all of that up. So the philosophy on, whether or not they should break even or whether or not they should make you money or be profitable, that's really up to you. Ideally, it's profitable, but that's not always the case, because there's this other sort of intrinsic value with ads where they can actually create more organic sales. And it's really hard to correlate how many organic sales that you get are a direct result of ads. So take, for example, if I have a shirt and I run ads to it and I get 100 sales in a month. Well, Amazon's going to catch on to that. That algorithm is going to catch on. And now it's going to be shown also in the organic listings high up. And maybe I get another 50 sales from organic clicks and organic purchases that weren't part of the ads. So now I've got 150 sales. 100 of them are from ads and 50 of them are not from ads. Well, it's really hard to kind of put your finger on that. But the idea behind it is ads can accelerate your listings. And if you can accelerate your listings, you'll get more clicks, you'll get more reviews, and you're likely to get higher in the rankings, which is going to lead to more organic sales. So that's all just a big fancy way of saying find a strategy that works for you. But I think it's important to understand that ads aren't necessarily meant to be profitable, that they can be a tool to help boost organic sales at other times of the year or boost products around certain events or holidays. They're a way to help increase your organic sales. And if those organic sales outweigh the ad spend through 90% of the year, then in the end, it's still a win. We do a whole nother video on that, right? On the metrics and the details and the data and the numbers. And that's really not the purpose of this video. I just want to give you guys some perspective on the intrinsic value of ads. Okay, let's take a closer look at one of my favorite campaigns and one that you'll hear a lot about, and that's just a lottery campaign. And what that means is you set up an auto campaign with a lot of products, right? A lot of different ASINs within that campaign that you could put all together and put them at a low bid and kind of see how they perform. So let's find one here, a lottery campaign we can take a closer look at to see if we get any more details. So let's take a look at this one. So here's an example of a lottery campaign that I ran through the month of December, and it's actually still currently running at this time. So I have a total of 450 products in this lottery campaign. These are specific products that are standard t-shirts, ones that have sold before. So that's how I ran this campaign. These are specific shirts that I filtered that I know already have a sale. And that tells me that the Amazon algorithm knows that this shirt has sold, and they're gonna prioritize that above other shirts that haven't sold. So I can go through here and I can look and see how much I'm spending on these shirts, how many orders I'm getting, and this ACOS number. And if I can go through and see that my ACOS is below that 25%, 20% range, then I know I'm doing well. So I've got 6%, 8%, 7, 12, 4, 3, 9, 4, all these different lower ACOSs. That's what all contributes to this total average ACOS of 10.61%, which is, again, a really good ACOS. So I can go in, and as I'm scrolling through these different standard shirts, if I see one that has an ACOS above what I want, it has a lot of clicks but not a lot of sales, I can turn it off. And I can hit this off button and disable it. And that's called optimizing the campaign. And that's what I do throughout time, is I go in and I optimize these campaigns. Okay, so I know some of you guys are probably wondering, how in the world do you afford spending so much on ads? Like, how do you keep track of all that, and how does that work? Well, I use a business credit card, and that's what I would recommend you use as well. I don't use a debit card or anything like that. I'm not using money out of my bank account. I'm using credit, a much safer way to spend money on ads. And I'm using specifically a points credit card, right? A credit card that I'm gonna earn points on. It's my business credit card, so I track all of my business expenses. I only put business expenses on that credit card. After all, this is my business, right? I treat it like a business. So that's what I use, is a specific business credit card that I earn points on, that all of my ad spend goes on, that I can easily run reports and see exactly how much I spent each month. Okay guys, now we're gonna take a look at my January 2023 ad spend, and I think you'll be a little bit amazed, or at least I was, at the difference in ad spend in December versus January. So if you remember, in December we spent around $3,500 in ads. For the month of January, I spent a total of $470 in ads, just a fraction of what I spent in December. Did a total of $3,900 in total sales value, had a total of 377,000 impressions, and had an ACOS of 11.97%. That's a really good ACOS. Now, how many clicks did I get, and how many orders did that come out to? So I did a total of 1,913 clicks. That's how many times people clicked on my ads during the month of January, and that resulted in a total of 185 orders. Now, for the month of January, I did a total of 1,095 orders. So of those 1,095, 185 of them are directly related to the ads, and that is 16.8% of my total sales. So what changed from December to January? Why the big drop in spending? Why the big drop in sales, clicks, orders, all of that? Well, I'll tell you a couple different things. One, I wasn't as aggressive with my ads in January as I was in December, meaning my daily budgets in December were much higher. My cost per click that I was bidding was much higher. Some of the accelerators that you can put, like a bid percentage increase, was higher. I did all of that in the month of December because that's when people are on the platform shopping. That's when I'm trying to promote as many of my products as possible. In January, everything slows down, right? I mean, spending slows down, traffic slows down. So I was much more conservative. I pulled back the reins on my total budget, my total number of campaigns, and that is what contributed to the decrease. Plus, I had some really aggressive campaigns I was running in December, specifically for holiday related products. Christmas. If I'm selling something for Christmas or for Hanukkah or something that's a holiday design, I'm going to push that in the month of December, but I'm going to either turn it off or really decrease it during the month of January. And that's what you see here. That's what this is. Now, because of that, I was actually able to get a better ACOS. So you could say my January ads on a whole performed better than my December ads because my January ACOS is 11.97%, whereas in December it was like 15.6%. That's a really good ACOS and a better overall performance, but it's a fraction of the total value and the total performance in terms of sales and clicks. If you remember, in December I had 3.5 million impressions. In January I have 377,000. That's like 10%. 1/10 of the total impressions. So it just shows you my ads weren't out there as much. They weren't as visible on all these different pages, checkout pages and things like that. So let's take a closer look here. We can see some of the performing, and I've got this sorted here by ACOS. So we can see the top ads here. This one here, 35.59%. This was a particular manual targeting product I was running. I spent $7 on this. This is one singular shirt, and I got a total of 13 clicks, and it only resulted in one sale. And I decided, okay, I'm gonna cut that off. So I turned that off. Next here, I've got an auto campaign, all right? This is with a lottery campaign. So I've spent $24.99, and I've gotten 3 orders for a total of 32.49%. That's not that good. I actually still have that one running right now, and if I were to show February, I believe that one is performing a little bit better. And then you start to get down here where you get into my ACOS range, right? I wanna be that 25% or below, 23%, 19%. But you can just see the total number of orders is much less. And it's because my budgets are down. I mean, some of these campaigns, I'm only budgeting $5, $2.50. That's my daily budget. This campaign is performing well. This is an auto campaign, another lottery campaign. I've spent $25 and I've gotten 8 orders for a 19% ACOS. I know that I priced the majority of my shirts at $19.99. I know my average royalties are around between $4.50 and $5, so I know that this campaign is profitable. That's why it's still delivering. Okay, and then you can see here I've got some other ones, these really good, powerful ones. This campaign, this has been one of my year-round best campaigns. It's an auto campaign. There's, I would say, around 50 to 60 shirts in this campaign, and they're all similar niche, and I've been able to do 93 orders in the month of January from this for a 9.84% ACOS. Again, I know that that's profitable because I know my royalties, I understand my numbers and what my break-even point is. I'll put a link to that break-even calculator. This is what it looks like. I'll put a link to this break-even calculator. This is, you can type in your sales price, so I know if my shirt's $19.99 and I know I make, let's say I make $4.73 per shirt, then I know my break-even ACOS is 23.66%. If my sale price is, let's say it's a hoodie, and I put it at $35.99 and my royalties are $7.50, then I know my break-even ACOS is 20%. So I'll put a link to this little calculator here, but it's pretty straightforward. It's easy to calculate, and that's why it's important to know what is your ACOS break-even point. Now, I will say this, I have some of these campaigns that are still running where I have it exceeding my break-even point, and this one here is a good example. This is another one that's a good example. Even this one, 28%. These are all campaigns that are exceeding my current break-even ACOS. Why would I do that? Well, you don't always have to break even on all of your campaigns. There is intrinsic value to letting these campaigns run beyond your break-even point if you are trying to promote a certain product to get it up in the rankings around a certain holiday or around a certain event or a certain time of year, or maybe just to get it in a really competitive niche. You may have to take a loss at the beginning before you can get it up onto page 1 or 2 where you're going to get those sales and clicks. That's a personal decision. It's kind of a personal strategy. One quick thing I want to say about Amazon ads is there's really no right or wrong strategy. The amount of money that you spend on ads and the types of campaigns that you run are totally dependent on your budget, your listings, and what you're comfortable with. There really is no right or wrong way. My ad strategy is based on a couple years of testing. I've been accepted into the Amazon ad program since 2018, and I've been running ads since then. I've learned a lot of hard lessons. I've had a lot of failures, but I've had a couple successes, and I'm still learning with this platform each day. The main thing that you have to understand about the Amazon ad system is that testing is required. I mean, you really have to kind of test and figure out what type of campaigns work, what bid ranges work, what type of accelerators you want to put on the different campaigns. Do you want to go auto or manual? And it's important that you kind of start slow or start small if you're new to this, and slowly incrementally work your way up to what you're comfortable with. Look at this campaign. This is a great one. Are you kidding? This campaign, this is an auto campaign. I'll tell you guys exactly what this one is. This is called Arbitrage Other Garment. So I'm gonna click on this because I can share this part. This is just an arbitrage campaign of other garments. So what that means is there's no standard t-shirts in this campaign. This campaign is a lottery campaign filled with designs that have sold before, but not on a standard t-shirt. So I have things like women's V-neck, premium shirts, tank tops, raglans, sweatshirts, all those other garments that usually make up a smaller percentage of total sales. I've filtered those to say, I want all designs that have sold before, but I want them on products that have never sold. I put all of those into an arbitrage campaign. You can see there's 646 products, and I've spent $2.79, and I've got 9 sales from it for an ACOS of 1.47%. That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. That is so good. I'm proud of that one. It's not a ton of sales, but do you see how this strategy works? I'm taking a product, or I'm taking a design that I know has sold on a standard tee, but now I'm promoting it on all the other products for a very, very low bid. Very low bid. I mean, I only spent $2.79 total for the month of January, and I got 9 orders for an ACOS of 1.47%. That's an example of how you can get creative with these ad campaigns, play with different product types and different types of, manual auto campaigns, your clicks and things like that. These are probably 9 products that maybe never would have sold had I not put them into this arbitrage campaign. Okay, quite a big difference, as you can see, from January to December. In December, I spent over $3,500 on ads, and in January, I spent $470.26. As a direct result of those ads, I got 185 orders. Now, total for the month of January, I did a total of 1,095 orders. As expressed as a percentage, that means 16.8% of my sales in the month of January were directly attributed to ads. Quite a big difference from December, where it was over 34.9%. So you can see here that the ad spend just completely drops after the Christmas holiday. But my ACOS, my actual ACOS, went down, which is really good. For the month of January, my ACOS was 11.97%. That's really good. I know that means I was absolutely profitable for the month of January if my ad spend, by quite a big margin if my break even is around 20 to 25%. So, that just gives you some insight here into the difference between December, the busiest month of the year, getting the most sales, the most clicks, and January, and how much of a steep drop that is, and where I sort of focus my spending and my attention. Okay guys, now I'm gonna give you some takeaways or tips that I have. These are in no particular order. These are just ones that I came up with off the top of my head based on, me really thinking about what I would wanna know when getting started with ads. All right, so tip number 1, ads take time. It takes time for your products to be indexed in Amazon, and it takes time for the ad algorithm to find those products and match them up with keywords and search or intent. When I say time, I mean you need to let your ads run for a minimum of 1 week before you start making any drastic changes. Start low, start conservative, but it takes time for ads to run. And the longer that you can run an ad for, into months or even years, the more data that particular ad campaign is gonna have, and that means that's gonna help you make better decisions on how to optimize it. Number 2, ads can be passive or they can be hands-on. And there is no right or wrong answer. It's really up to you, and you need to determine what works best for you. So I'll give you an example. Some people like to run their ads very passively, where they set a very low daily budget and a very low or conservative click, and they just let them run in the background, and they maybe go in and check every week, maybe every 2 weeks. That's a safer way to run ads because they know that they're not bidding really, really high. They're not gonna exceed this big daily budget amount. They know exactly how much they're gonna spend within a budget range, and they're doing low and conservative clicks. They're gonna get the sale here and there, right? And it's gonna probably perform, but they're not in there every day. And then you have the other side, people who go in and tweak their ads every single day. They have hundreds or even thousands of campaigns, individual campaigns for individual products, not these bulk lottery campaigns. And those can be really powerful, but they take some work because you got to go in and you got to add in negative keywords, and you got to change your bid percentages, and you got to change your bid amounts, and all these different variables that you can do to constantly tweak the ads. Find out what works best for you. If you're new to this, it may be too overwhelming. Start with some basic lottery campaigns with your best-selling products. Keep the budget low and the bids low, and slowly slowly, incrementally work your way up. Number 3, use a business credit card that earns you points, cash back, travel rewards, something for what you're spending on ads. I use a business credit card for all of my Merch by Amazon expenses. Last year I spent over $20,000 just on ads with my Merch by Amazon program, and me and my girlfriend were able to take a trip to Spain because of all the points that I earned. It's very important to use a business credit card because it's going to keep it separate from your personal expenses. You need to treat this like a business. That's a write-off that you can use against your earnings for the year. So sign up for a credit card that's going to give you some points and some cash back. Number 4, products that already have reviews almost always outperform products without reviews in terms of running ads. So if you're looking at your portfolio of products and you have some products that have reviews and some that don't, I would recommend starting off running ads to those that already have reviews. And here's why. When a customer is shopping on Amazon and they type in, soccer shirt for boys, and your ad comes up and you have a soccer shirt there and it's at the top of the listing, and they see down at the bottom those 4 or 5 colored stars, right, that Amazon shows on a review, that is validation immediately to that customer that's gonna tell them, hey, somebody likes this. This has got a good review. And it's immediately going to increase your chances of a converted sale. Whereas if you run an ad to a product that doesn't have any reviews, doesn't mean it won't sell, but the chances of somebody seeing that instant validation, those 5-star reviews, those yellow gold stars that Amazon is famous for, people are gonna know right away, hey, this is a good product, bam, add to cart. If you're not running ads to your products that already have reviews, you should start. That's a great way to get going with the Amazon ad system. Number 5, never start your Amazon ads at the recommended or default bid. I would recommend starting your ads at 50% or less of what the recommended bid is. If you start at that recommended bid, you'll probably get impressions right away, but you're probably gonna be wasting some money. Start lower. If they recommend 50 cents, cut it in half. Start at 25 cents. If they recommend 20 cents, cut it in half. Start at 10 cents. Start low and incrementally work your way up by 2 to 3 cents at a time until you start to get some impressions and some traction. Wow, okay guys, I know that was a lot. I'm tired from all of that. That was just a long video, and if you've stuck with me this long, thank you so much. I really tried to put a lot of work into this video and into this edit so that you can get an idea on my perspective, my strategy, some real numbers. If you have questions, because I know I didn't cover everything in this video, please drop them below in the comments. I promise I'll do more videos on Amazon ads. It seems to be something that a lot of people want more information on, but help me out. Let me know specifically what you want to see a video about. Let me know your comments or your feedback or suggestions. Maybe there's some other ad experts out there. Let me know. And in the meantime, please be sure to give this video a like. It really helps. Subscribe and hit that notification bell. And thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next video.